As with animals, plants have tissues, organs and organ systems. Cells in plants are specialised and come together to form tissues. Epidermal tissue covers the plant. It has the role of protecting the plant, and the cells making up this tissue may even secrete a wax to form a waxy, waterproof layer. Spongy mesophyll and palisade mesophyll contain chloroplasts which are needed for photosynthesis to occur. The spongy mesophyll contains air spaces which increases the surface area to allow gas exchange to be more efficient. Xylem tissue carries water and mineral ions from the roots to the leaves. The phloem tissue carries food substances produced in photosynthesis from the leaves to the rest of the plant. Phloem cells are living, whereas xylem cells are dead. Meristem tissue is found at the tips of the roots and stems. The tissue is made up of cells which divide and differentiate rapidly. These tissues can be arranged to form plant organs. Plant organs include the leaves, roots and stems of the plant. Each organ carries out different important functions. These organs come together to form a plant organ system for the transport of substances around the plant. We are now going to look at the plant organ system in more detail. The phloem and xylem are used to transport substances from the leaves and from the roots of the plant. Photosynthesis occurs in the leaves, and the sugars produced by it needs to be transported from the leaves to the rest of the plant. This is where the phloem comes in. In particular, sugars are needed in the growing areas of the roots and shoots. The sugars are also transported to storage organs where they are saved for winter. The movement of dissolved sugars around the plant is known as translocation. Translocation is important as plants need sugars for growth and respiration. Xylem tissue carries water and ions from the roots around the plant. Water is needed for photosynthesis to occur and to keep the cells rigid. We now need to try and understand why water moves through the xylem. Water is lost from the leaves in a process known as transpiration. Transpiration is simply the loss of water vapour from the surface of plant leaves. Water is lost through stomata, small gaps on the surface of the leaf. Stomata vary in size due to guard cells surrounding the stomata. These two guard cells can limit the gap size and even close the gap altogether. A plant needs these stomata to allow carbon dioxide to diffuse into the leaves and oxygen to diffuse out. However, at the same time, water vapour is lost. This means water is needed to replace the water lost by evaporation. The loss of water causes more water to be drawn up through the xylem, and this causes even more water to move into the roots via osmosis. This system of water moving from the roots to the leaves in a plant is known as the transpiration stream. The rate of transpiration can vary with certain conditions. An increase in temperature leads to an increase in transpiration. This is because the molecules have more energy, so diffusion occurs at a quicker rate. Also, higher temperatures will mean that the photosynthesis rate increases. This means that more stomata will be opening to allow the gases to be exchanged quicker. This again leads to more transpiration. In windy conditions, the evaporated water vapour is removed quickly. This means there will be a steep concentration gradient between the plant and the air. The more humid the air is, the less transpiration occurs. This is because in humid conditions there is a smaller concentration gradient. How do plants survive in hot, dry climates then? The stomata are mainly found on the underside of the leaf. This stops the stomata from being in direct sunlight, and so more water is preserved. Plants in dry climates may also have thicker waxy cuticles on the outside of the leaf. This also helps with preserving water. If water is lost quicker than it can be replaced, the plant may wilt. When a plant wilts, the leaves are no longer rigid and full. This prevents any further water loss. The stomata will also close in an attempt to preserve more water. However, this also means that photosynthesis will be unable to take place. In class, to investigate transpiration, a pedometer is used. Pedometers show the uptake of water by using air bubbles. The distance travelled by the air bubble shows the volume of water taken up by the plant.